The Neon Ghost Show.
Are you ready?
I've seen the John Jones PVR at the White House. Like I've seen have we seen an official White House card yet? Or is it all
No,
still
nor will we. No, we won't see one of those until we get much closer. They've talked about Chandler and McGregor being the main event. Dana White is very interesting by saying that he can't trust John Jones for the card.
He's not
You can
wrong
trust
though.
John Jones. You
He's
can
not wrong.
trust really, because in relation to he's saying that he can trust Conor McGregor against Michael Chandler.
Oh no. That's the same. You can't trust Connor and you can't trust John.
I don't think so. I go based upon like what Dana's saying is like I can trust Connor to if he says he's going to be there, he's going to be there. No, not
That's
this
what
Connor, not this kind
that's
of
what I'm
old
saying.
Connor.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like no,
Like,
I'm saying same. I don't think you can trust Connor or John.
Yeah. Well, I think that John showed that you can't trust him when you say, "I want FU money." Okay, sir, here's $30 million. Fight Aspinall. Yeah, I'll do it. Next day, nah, I'm good.
So,
bro.
So this is why I can understand him saying that. But there's the other side of, I think, potentially for John, for all of the crap he's been dragged through in terms of like fans, like me personally, as a fighter, as we said, one of the greatest to ever do it. I've never really been a fan of him though, but that just makes it be like, I want to see someone go in there and beat his ass. Whereas I'm a fan of GSP. I want whoever steps up GSP to beat their ass. So that's my thing of I can see, put John on the card. I see Dana's White side of, you mean the dude that's going to get coked up and get in car accidents and might not be able to make it? But I think for John, legacy wise, that might be something that he's going to take serious enough to have one more fight. Personally, I think it should be Aspinall, but do whatever you got to do. And I think you could trust that over it being Connor, how like same thing of the party and drugs and all those other things. Honestly, I don't think either of them need to be the main event.
Let me ask you, why Aspinall though? What does that do for John Jones?
What does Pierre do for John Jones?
Alex Pereira was one of the best kickboxers to come out to join the UFC. Alex Pereira has knocked out the who's who of the Izzy's, Sean Strickland, just pieced him up, has shown that, and when you got knocked down, he's able to come back and just walk through the Yuri Prohaska doing all that stuff then multiple times. He's on a different level than other fighters. As where Tom Aspinall, like you beat Curtis Blades, right? So you beat Curtis Blades. Who hasn't knocked out Curtis Blades? Like, what else has Tom Aspinall done that's going to help the legacy of John Jones? As to where Alex Pereira has beaten his entire division. He cleared out his entire division just like John Jones did. The old, the young, the new. Like he's whooped everybody's butts. He's big. He's big like John Jones is. I just don't think Aspinall. He's fast. I don't think Aspinall, especially after watching him against Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think he'd have the answer for John, because truthfully, John takes down Aspinall. I don't care what you say. John Jones tossed around DC like he was a rag doll, and DC is a NCAA championship wrestler. And Aspinall, I think, is going to be a fantastic heavyweight champion. And I think the eye poke was legitimate. But also, I think that boy was looking for a way out because Cyril Gahn was piecing his ass up.
But so here, like fighter legacy wise, you're 100% correct. But if we're the UFC and it's our business, all that, the heavyweight division is trash. There's nothing there.
It makes it worse, though, if John Jones wins the title and then walks away again, and then you have to get two guys to fight for a vacant belt. That's lame.
But doesn't it make it better if the one guy that beat Jones has our belt and he's the heavyweight? We can now, that's going to blow up and take that off to the moon.
Let me ask you, when GSP beat Michael Bisping for the belt and then walked away, who won the belt after when it was vacant? Who went in there after those two and won that belt?
Wasn't that when Bisping and Anderson did it?
No, no,
Oh
Bisping
fuck.
retired. Bisping dropped. Bisping went and he fought. He got knocked out. He went and fought. Gus. Not Gus. Dude, Izzy and this dude had an epic fight. Kevin Gastelum. And
Gaslam,
Kevin
yeah,
Gastelum starched
that's right.
Bisping. So when GSP dropped the belt, who won that belt afterward?
Yeah,
I
you're
don't.
proving a point.
Right. So like when that type of stuff happens, like we can't remember like, oh, who's the runner up who gets to go in there and go fight for this.
Okay.
It's not fun. It's not money maker for the UFC. It's not a smart money move for them. And I don't think people really give two craps about seeing Jones versus Aspinall anymore after that whole like it's the same
That's
thing with Connor and Chandler. I don't want to see Chandler. Chandler's lost already to Paddy the Baddy. He's lost all these guys. Man, I think you do like a Charles Oliveira against Conor McGregor. Holy shit.
So you would have your main event be Jones Pierre.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fair.
I think that sells. I think the whole card's going to sell no matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that is a okay, not in the shit talking type thing. I think that Jones Pierre. This is going to sound stupid. It's like an Aldo McGregor where it's like that. These two phenoms. You're watching these guys who you don't know who's going to win. I thought Aldo was going to take McGregor. I didn't think 13 seconds later Aldo was going to be laying there flat on his face.
Fair.
I think Pierre on the stand up can catch Jones and knock him out. But I think what Jones is going to do is take him down and try to ground and pound or submit him. Um, but I think that sells the card. I think people
That's
get
fair.
really, really excited for that one.
That's fair. But then what happens if you do that and Jones doesn't show up or things happen with this dude that, like that, well then that, like this is where Dana's point is he puts the money on him and then something happens. So what's our co-main event that we have to have?
I think Dana White's more scared about John Jones beating Pereira and Pereira not having the likability anymore after John Jones does it. Because Pereira is going to stay there, and he said he wants to go to the heavyweight division. You lose to the GOAT, like where are you going now? You going to go fight Tom Aspinall for the runner-up belt, or Gone for the runner-up belt?
That's
I think
fair.
it hurts him with it, and I don't think Dana White wants to see that, honestly.
That's fair. Damn. Okay. What would you put as the co-main event? Let's say that's our main event. Just in case that falls out, we need a spectacular co-main event.
I mean, I mean they're doing the McGregor Chandler, unfortunately. But I would have see it's tough because like I would have saved like BMF stuff for it. I would have done like the Holloway, the Holloway against Charles Oliveira for something like that. I think that's fantastic. You have to have Americans on there. Like it's gonna be tough to find like Americans to fight with Dagestanis and stuff that are happening right now. Like Arman Sarukian, I think that he's gonna his eye people are eyeballs. You and I we watched that fight live with Dan when he fought Dan Hooker
Yep.
light years ahead. So I think that you have to be able to put somebody like Hamazat Chimaev, something like that on there because like he draws the eyes and has a championship fight. I really think that they're going to try to put him on that card as well because they need to make it the best card ever. And
Ever.
and it's gonna make sense because it's gonna be after Ramadan as well. So it kind of makes sense to have that, but I know they announced his fighter his who he's fighting already. So we'll see what happens. He wants to fight one more time and then he wants to move up to light heavyweight.
Again,
Yeah.
the difference of the theatrics of WWE I watch, the storylines and the angles of the UFC are why we watch. Like it's just so fun.
Oh, I love it.
So
I
fun.
love every second of it. But I also don't think Gaethje should be in this fight. I think Arman Sarukian should be fighting Paddy Pimblett.
What is with your hate for Gaethje?
I think Gaethje getting flatlined by Holloway, and I feel like Gaethje is a very good punching bag. I don't feel like Gaethje. I think he puts on entertaining fights. I don't feel like he's going to be able to take a title and hold a title and defend it. I
Fair.
don't think that he's that guy. I feel like there's other individuals in that weight class that are superior than him. I do. I think Arman is amazing. I think Ilya Topuria is one of the best fighters that I've ever got to witness fight. And I think Ilya would demolish Gaethje. I personally believe that. So to put him in there with Paddy, if he wins and he has to go fight Ilya, oh man, he's gonna want to retire after that fight. I think the same thing happened to Charles Oliveira.
That's how I always felt about Colby Covington.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get the hype, I get what you're doing, but like you're a good mouthpiece and you can put on a good fight, but you're also real good at getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, absolutely. And he when he went out there and beat Robbie Lawler is one of my absolute favorite of all 100%. Time. When he did that, dude, it was like let me find you in a bar, bro. Let me sucker punch you. Let me sucker punch you just like Jorge Masvidal did. Like I'll just come up just right, so good, wasn't it? Right, I'll just clip you. Yeah, man. When he beat my boy, you want to talk about fights though? What about Lawler against Rory McDonald?
Oh my God, his nose bro. Oh,
dude. And Rory was finally like, "Hey, like this guy, he out crazied me. Okay, yep. He wins. He out crazied me.
Yeah,
like that's like,
that was so.
But
good.
Again, different generations. There's no way the refs nowadays let that happen. There's no way they let that fight keep going. No. That was insane.
Yeah. Or when another one of my all-time favorites is Donald Cerrone. That dude fights anyone, anywhere, short notice, don't care. But when he fought Rick Story and he looked like he was in a video game and pieced him up, like you just don't get like those moments anymore.
No, it wasn't that with Rick Story when he was calling him like an old man before it. Yep. And he could not touch Cerrone at all. Yep. That was insane. Conor McGregor shoulder elbowing Cerrone, and Cerrone blows his nose in the middle of it too at his eye.
Ooh, no one saw that coming. Like what? What? Yeah. Yeah. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, I love going back and watching those.
Yep. And we got to give a shout out to Ed Herman. Came off of Tough, so like that's another reason for Tough. Like I guess it got so watered down there. It's happened so much. Like I can't tell you what season I stopped watching the Tough. So I guess that's now why it's coming back. I'm like, okay. But it makes sense to what you said of building stars. Cause remember when it was Chris Lieben, Josh Koscheck, like remember being drunk in the room, peeing on the bed. Like there was so many like moments. So yeah, you're right about how that makes sense now.
Yeah. They need that superstardom. Because Kendall Grove and Ed, you watch, oh my gosh, the Diego Sanchez against Kenny Florian. I thought Florian was going to win. I was hands down a Florian fan. I messaged Kenny Florian on MySpace, and he actually answered me back on MySpace, bro. And I was telling him like how excited of a fan I was of his, and Diego got him. Like Diego became like my boy. I'm like, this is awesome. And then on my birthday, Diego fought BJ Penn for the belt and wound up looking like the Elephant Man.
Yep.
I was 100%. So bummed out. Gosh, that was crazy.
Yep.
Like I remember that.
So let me ask you, because like, and I have friends who think it's weird, but then I have friends who understand. Being a Cowboys and a Seahawks fan, Cowboys always make it to the playoffs, but for me, whoever beats them in the playoffs, well, now I want that person to go win the Super Bowl. Because I want to know, well, yeah, we lost to the champs. We didn't lose to the people that lost in the next round. So when you have a guy, which like I've never bet against Cowboy Cerrone. I've put money on him and I put money on him against Connor. He lost, still love him and all stuff. But if there's a guy, how you just said, Diego's going against BJ or Diego's going against Florian. Florian's your guy. Well, he beats Florian. So now you got to be a Diego guy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. He's got to go win the title in order for me to justify his existence.
I was like that because oh my gosh, what was his name? You watch all the Toughs with me. Joe, he's from Torrance. Joe, he did that. He was climbing on the other dude around like his back and stuff like that. Joe Stevenson.
Yes. Joe Daddy Stevenson.
Joe Daddy Stevenson, man. Like that was like that. Yeah, that was my guy. that was my guy with all that stuff. It's just, yeah. But yes, to answer your question, yes, when they lose like that, I look at the guy and be like, all right, well, now take the torch and go do something. Go do something with that when
Yeah.
you win like that. And like this BJ Penn, I was like, okay, you demolished Diego because I liked Joe Riggs. Diego knocks out Joe Riggs, and everything. I'm still rooting for him. But then all of a sudden, you have BJ Penn that meets this young Frankie Edgar. And I remember being in the movie theater, and they had the big UFC watch party, and I'm watching this huge screen. And I'm like, who the heck is this man? Like, how is he beating up my buddy BJ Penn? Like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Like what, like 3 times in a row? I mean, it was ridiculous.
Oh, remember the Frankie Edgar Gray Maynard trilogy?
Oh,
Dude,
yes.
that's something we don't get those anymore.
No, we don't get those wars anymore. Those fights were epic. I love Gray Maynard. Yeah, Gray Maynard that guy was insane. Yeah, there was a lot of Tough made a lot. Again, that's what Tough did though. It allowed us to get to know the person because now, who was it? The guy who Triple C just fought, who Henry Cejudo just lost to. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I love my MMA. I love the UFC. I unfortunately don't know who he is. If he was on Tough and I was watching through that, man, I'd know his sister's name. I'd know his whole life history. I know what Jimmy came from. I'm getting his rookie cards. And I think that's what, again, the marketing machine of UFC is going to have to do, is bring back Tough. Because
and one of the things that maybe was when Conor and Uriah coached and then didn't fight each other. Like, what are we doing? No, the whole point of Tough is at the end of a season, the two coaches fight each other. Like, that added more to it. And then why are they coaching if they're not fighting each other at the end? What are we doing?
So who's your favorite coaches that went on there and fought? What's your favorite coach fight?
Probably the first one, Chuck and Tito, or Chuck and Randy. I can't remember. I think something happened. It did happen, but I really wanted the Chael Sonnen Vanderlei fight.
I wanted that. Can't let you get close.
Right.
Dude.
Frank Mir and
Nogueira.
Yep.
That was mine. That was mine. That was rad. That was a great fight. Again, being a Frank Mir fan. I heard that he's not a kind individual. I hear that. I've never got a chance to meet him.
That's false. That's a lie.
Is he nice?
I could say for personal experience, kind of. The UFC that was here that Benson Henderson and Diaz fought, and it was Toothpick Gate. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Benson Henderson had a toothpick in his mouth.
After that fight, it was when there was a Hawaiian bar, used to be right by Key Arena, Climate Pledge, whatever, Key Arena. They've since moved, but there used to be this Hawaiian bar literally right by there. It was after the fight, and it was like way after the fight, hours after the fight. Like, me and my buddies who went to fight, like, we were wandering around. We happened to go in there, and Frank was in there with his wife, and he was just sitting in the corner. And you could tell, like, no one in this bar knew who this guy is. This is weird, but like, we know you. And I dead ass was like, but that's not only the greatest heavyweight, that's my greatest heavyweight. Like, I'm at least gonna go say hi. And his wife in the corner would be straight, but I just Mr. Mir, sir, dead ass was like, yeah, what's up? Man, I'm a fan. And I just want to say, dude legit stands up, shakes my hand, introduces me to his wife. And I was like, we're talking, and he could see my friends over here looking at me. He's like, man, tell your friends to come over. It's like, we came over, maybe like 5-minute interaction. And he was like, did you guys want to take a photo? I'm like, no, I don't want a photo. I just wanted to come say, like, you're sitting here and you're the goddamn king. I want to pay my respect. Nicest guy in the world.
Holy crap.
He could have blown us off. He could have done it. He could have been like, hey, nice to meet you. And with my wife, move on. Nope. Stood up, shook my hand, sat back down, told my friends come over, and he was sitting there holding court with us for 5-10 minutes, talking about the fight we just watched, like all this stuff. And then, all right, nice to meet you. Like, he was so good. Yeah.
Isn't it weird getting to meet people like that? Like, I've met WWE guys. I enjoy the characters. UFC guys, for me, man, I fangirl about it. Still to this day, Ed will shoot me a random text about Pokemon stuff or anything else, and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, who's sitting next to me that I can show this phone to right now?
100%.
Like, you know who just texted me?
Same.
We're at the last COVID.
There's something in me that goes, But Ed Herman's
I know.
texting me, and it's the
No,
most random thing. You're just like, but
I
Ed
know.
Herman. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know, man. Joe Riggs slapped hands. Is like, hey, man, great to meet you. I'm like, holy shit,
yep,
Joe Diesel Riggs.
yep.
Like I'm standing next to this guy right now. Like this is wild. I'm watching him for years on TV. It is it's a surreal moment. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool meeting people like Ed and getting to know them behind the scenes type of stuff and seeing what kind of awesome
That was
person
mine
they are.
with Ed when we were doing. We haven't done one. It was the only one I've ever done. They did a show at Tulalip in the amphitheater. I think it was like July. It was outdoors. And on my way there, I get told he's commentating with her. He's the special guest, whatever. I'm thinking he's just showing up, shaking hands, all this stuff. Well, then I get told, no, he's commentating with you. So I'm like, you're sure it's this guy right here is
Yeah,
commentating?
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. I'm the
Nickname
dude that
short
runs
fuse.
my mouth and make dick jokes, and this guy's a legitimate, like you put him in the Hall of Fame. I'm not arguing, like, okay.
Yeah,
And so we had in the parking lot the tents for fighter warm-ups and all this stuff. And I got to talk to the fighters when they're warming up stuff. And there's that Herman talking to fighters and stuff. And I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm about to fanboy out. But I should probably go introduce myself because we gotta roll up. At Herman, sir, turns around. Yeah, I said, hi man, I'm Robbie. I'm commentating with you. That ass goes, oh hey man, yeah, I watched your last one. You're real good. I'm like, hey, don't say that. And he's like, what's wrong? I was like, dude, I'm nervous. He's like, why? I was like, well,
yeah,
because I got to do this with you. He goes, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm following your lead. I'll talk
yeah,
about fights and stuff, but you do what you do, and like we'll get there. We'll be fine. That fight's over, and I'm thinking, like, man, that was fun. Thanks. Hey, what are you doing now? Well, I was gonna go change and then go to the bar club thing in here. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll meet you there. Let me get your number. Okay. So I go chain, and now I'm in the bar, and I'm thinking again, shit to do. Nope, get a text. Hey man, where's this bar at? Like, what are you doing? So I tell him. He comes in. I'm hanging out with Ed Herman, and then because he knows everybody, Anthony Hamilton fought Matt Howell, and I don't
yeah.
remember what UFC happened this same day. But now
Okay.
all of a sudden, I'm in a circle of Ed Herman, Anthony Hamilton, Ivan Salavari, Randy Couture was the special guest, like how you had
Holy shit.
Joe Riggs at that last one.
Yeah,
Randy was ours at this one. Um, the live wire coach, like we're all in a circle, looking at legit, just handing each other our phones, watching fights, and at no point did the guy that's only been doing jujitsu for a little bit, but I'm nowhere near this caliber. But none of these guys were making me feel lesser than or anything. It was
yeah,
like, no, like he's in the circle. He's one of our guys. And it just felt like this to the point that now you've seen, like when we're there and the fighters see our respect and love for him, our fighters at Koga see our love and respect for him. It's a
yeah,
totally different change. And I've seen guys who they're talking to their fans and they get it and all that. But then when they come talk to us and they know, like, no, I, I talk to you behind the scenes and text you like I know some shit. Like we're actual friends. I'm not here to like jerk you off. I'm here to be like,
exactly.
what's up? What are we doing? And so that's where
Yeah,
guys like Caleb, when Caleb reaches that level, I know
yeah,
the guy Caleb's going to be when he gets to the level. He's going to be the exact guy he is right now because I talk to him not on fight days. Like I text him, I check in with him, things like that. So
yep,
then when I do see him on fight days, I tell him how I feel before that fight he just had. I went down to
yeah,
the thing and I told him and I grabbed him and I said, hey, win or lose, you're one of my guys. I will always be a fan. Just go out there and put on a show. I never hide the fact on commentary when one of my guys is coming out. I'm like, this is my guy. Like, hope he beats this guy's ass. Sorry, buddy, because like this is my guy. And that fight goes that way.
yeah.
Like, I feel heartbroken for Caleb, but also, no, that's still my guy. That'll never not be my
Right.
guy. Yeah.
It is interesting though that you bring that up. So I make the cards for Koga, and so I get an opportunity to meet each one of these fighters, slap hands with them, chat with them for a little bit. Some more than others. I it is, and then sit. I am blessed that Koga Joe, with part of my sponsorship, gets to sit cage side, right, and they hear me like when I'm yelling and stuff like that because I can't sit there. It's tough though, Robbie, when like I just slapped hands with Diedrich and he's out there fighting homeboy who I also want to win too, and I'm like right now elbow. I swear to God, bro, I'll get like the look over left. I'm like, oh whoa 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 whoa
Yep.
whoa, sorry,
100%.
my
Yep.
bad,
Yeah.
And I feel for these guys. Like I like a lot of these guys that are going. I don't get the time to talk to all of them all the time, but like Hoyt, for instance, we sponsored him when he came out. He's coming out to his music. I'm Hoyt, Hoyt, and I'm loving that. So like when he loses, or like when he's fighting there in Albert, I want to cheer for both of these guys. It is a very interesting thing. Because I was talking to Omar about that, like separating it. I was, when Caleb lost, I was visibly like, damn,
Yep.
because I was like, but it wasn't he lost. That was not. It was that he didn't get to show the evolution of what he did. And I feel for a lot of these kids who, one kid hurt his back. He didn't get to show like his next evolution. Same thing with Caleb when that 8 seconds, you got knocked out in 8 seconds. Cool, brother. It happens to the best of them. Trust me, it happens to UFC dudes all the time.
Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor.
Right? You just didn't get to show your hard work that you put in for 3 months ahead of that. That's all it is. And I get, and that for me is like, I appreciate all these guys so much that they're allowing me into their circle and to get the chance to see the behind the scenes stuff with them and chat with them about the stuff. Similar to you interview all these guys, you start to form these relationships, and you have your guys, but also with these dudes you're doing the interview, you're like, hell yeah, I really like you. And then they go out, you're like, wait, I really like their opponent too. Like, this ought to be fun.
Same thing you were saying with Albert and RJ. Before that fight, RJ had some fights that were okay. That fight got announced and was like, okay, this could get interesting. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
Bro, Ed Herman and I were literally like, man, we're watching Rocky 1 right now.
Right.
Like, they should not be going to the 5th round. The judges could give RJ 2 and 3. Like, what is happening with this fight? And again, I've interviewed Albert. I've interviewed RJ. I was at one of the fights before the fight at the hotel. Like, I happened to go down to the hot tub, and RJ's chilling hot. First time I met him, he's chilling in a hot tub, and I was like, "Yo!" And we had zoomed, so it's like, "Yo!" And he was like, "Yo!" And so we just in the hot tub BSing. It's like now he's my guy. But I've also talked with, and Albert trains with one of my former coaches, so now he's my guy. Yeah. So same thing with you. Like, I just want a good fight. Like, what are you doing? But then that fight turns out to be what it was. It's just like, oh my God, this is so good.
I know, and I was just having to just replay it back in my head. It's like Devin versus Monty, where like I'm like Devin is just killing it, and then all of a sudden I catch myself in like the end of the 4th round. I'm yelling for Monty. I'm like, find that next level, find that next level. Even though Devin this whole time I'm like, let's go, bro, let's go. I had looked at Monty and I saw that like in him being like, I have one more round, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this man's he's about to dig, and he's about to find that one more round that you get told inside your training. Like, we need this one more. And he found it. And I'm like, well, fight of the night. Like, 'cause obviously we got to do the fight of the night bonuses and performance of the night. And he found that and wins on a rear naked choke, I believe.
Yep.
And he wins that, gets the title. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, now you have to fight Rodrigo. Like now we need you two in the cage together. Like, this is a dog. Like, Monty had no quit in him, and it's cool to see the evolution of what these guys are doing too. Because I think this is my 5th, I believe, 5th Coga fight. So getting to see these guys evolve from the first time that I went over to Silver Reef till now. Even Caleb, I was at Caleb's first fight. I didn't even realize that. Like when he beat Alex
Chavez. Yeah,
when he knocked out Chavez. I didn't know that was his first fight. I was there actually sponsoring. He pulled off the card. Oh my gosh, Jeremiah. No, holy cow, his training partner. I was there sponsoring him, and he actually pulled out of it. And so they're like, "Oh, we have one other guy on there. It's Caleb Wheeler." And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. Knocks out the current champion. Like, whew. Yeah, it's wild.
And but how you're saying the evolution thing, and I've talked to Caleb about it, and I said it on the show of that first fight, and then his second fight, and then not the one he just had, but the one before that. I saw, watching him and being a fan of him, I saw the evolution of, he used to punch, run in, and then the fight before the last one, he'd get a couple that he'd come back and he'd rest, get his pace back and all that. And so, like how you're saying, seeing the evolution and the progression of the guys. But then on the other hand of that, you get guys like Sharon. Sharon's never making it to the UFC. He knows that. Sharon's never, But that dude will put a mouthpiece in, and that dude's coming in. He's putting on a show and a fight, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, he doesn't care if he's 20 and 41. He's gonna get it. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna fight. If he gets a toe up in his rib cage, that's just what happens, right?
Yeah.
Like we have guys like that in Koga that we can trust that are going to go in there and put on a show, and that's rad. And what Koga is doing right now by helping groom some of these younger kids and putting these tough matchups right now for them to go at it, and kind of seeing who's evolving more, who's going to get to that next level. I think one of the coolest things that I just saw that we saw, not this, there was the last one in Tulalip. It was actually one of Joe's boys, who has the jacket with like all the championships on it. He lost in the championship.
Leighton Toon.
Dude. Bro, Leighton Toon was my boy. Before the fight, I didn't like fangirl out, but I still fangirled out because I was following Leighton Toon's career, and I'm like, this is elite. This is next level. And he wound up losing, but he took it well, and it was learning from that. And I talked to him after the fight, and like the awareness that he had for what he did wrong, what he's going to be able to fix, and how he's going to come back. I was like, this is that next level of athlete that Koga has right now. That is fantastic to see.
Agreed. Yeah. So Leighton's one of, I call him the Four Horsemen. When I first started working for Koga, and I asked Joe, like, hey, I'm going to reach out. And he was like, all right. I'd never interviewed fighters. I'd never done this. I reached out to 4 fighters on the card. It was Leighton, Andy Waters, Derek, who hopefully makes a comeback, and Chance Paul. All 4 of them are like, yeah, man, okay. And, we talked, got to know each other, and all of them, like, now the relationships have grown to the point that Andy now fights for LFA, which is on UFC Fight Pass.
Right.
Chance doesn't fight anymore, but we still communicate once in a while. Leighton and I, all the time, hitting each other up, talking. And then Derek, something happened to his back, but he loved that every time he would fight, he would legit do that old school thing where he'd shoot a double leg and you're not stopping it, pick you up and throw you down. And it was to the point, like, I would literally like, this is where Derek likes to do what I call introduce a guy to gravity. And
I love it.
Loved that I had said that on the broadcast, that it became a thing. But so Leighton is one, again, when Leighton comes out, win, lose, I don't care. Leighton will always be one of my 4 horsemen because he helped me get my footing in something I had no clue what I was doing. But this dude was like, all right, we did a Zoom, talked for a little bit, got there, actually met against to the point now, if I'm busy or whatever I'm doing, if we pass each other, we both stop, hug, hey, how's it going? Talk for a minute, check in on each other, stuff like that. Like, that's the other aspect that I like about this. And I agree with everything you're saying about Leighton. I think he has all of it, even though, cool, you lost. I'm no lesser of a fan because you lost.
No, who I feel is that, oh man, 2, 3 more fights away before he's all of a sudden on Fight Pass is Noah, who won with the Americana at the last one. He's came up to my shop to buy cards for me with his family. One of the most humble, amazing young men that I've had the privilege to speak with and to shake his hand. And I was telling him flat out after his last fight, the ruthless aggression that you bring in there can't be matched. It can't be matched. You want it more than the other guy. And I see it. Everybody in here sees it. When you fight, they know that you're there to win. You're there to have that ruthless aggression and that next level. If that person doesn't come out and try to match your energy, you're good in an Americana. You're getting a ground and pound. You're getting a rear naked choke. You're getting what you want. And that showed in this last fight.
The fight before his last one. Remember, he just kept picking the dude up, throwing him down.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, every time it was just pick him up, throw him down. Pick him up, throw him down. It was like, what is happening? And I don't think anyone expected that to happen. And
no, I know I didn't. Like, that was his pro debut. So everybody was kind of like, well, let's see what's going to happen with it. And then, I talked to him after the fights now, and dude, just the coolest guy, man. Just the coolest guy. I am excited to see his path and where he goes. And I know he's signed with Koga, so it's cool as heck to see what he's doing with these guys. And I'm hoping that he gets on the 31st card. I know Joe. I've talked to him a little bit about the fight card, so I'm hoping to see if Noah gets on there. I have no clue but I would love to see him in person again. It'd be a blessing.
Like one of the other aspects I like is knowing gyms, like
Yeah,
the zero sum, like there's gyms, the DS Combat Sports, like now we know anytime someone's coming in that cage with a DS Combat Sport, they're coming to fight. We know how that's going. And I always
yeah,
say on the commentary, and Ed say, like, I might not know your name tonight, but I know your gym. So therefore, it's your job to make me remember your name tonight, win or lose, like the
yeah,
fight you put on. Or a guy like Pavel, the Devil of Everett. I can't say his last name, Breton. When
yeah,
that dude came out, like, I don't know who this guy is, but I know his gym. I damn sure as hell know Pavel's name now. I could pick him out on a street.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I watching these different, like, combat clubs and Charlie's Combat Club and just different the way watching their coaching and what they're doing and how they in between the rounds, what they're yelling at it, and this isn't against any of these other gyms, but you can see some of this coaching and what they're doing with these men and some of these corners that are quiet. And I'm like, man, like these next elite, when they're picking them up, slamming it out, bring them to us. And you're seeing all of that.
Yep.
And these young men need that, and they're getting it. And some of the coaching isn't there with that, and it's different. Oh, it's completely different with it. Matt and Luther, quick thing with it. So I met Matt at the one right before that when he was there coaching the young man that
Yeah.
hurt
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
knee. Okay. So we're talking. He's like, "Oh, I'll fight anybody. I don't really care." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, bro." Luther's guy falls out. Next one falls out. So me and my best bud, we're talking, and we're like, "Man, this is gonna suck for whoever has to go against Luther. Like, this is gonna be horrible." Here comes Matt, and I'm like, "Hey, brother, who are you coaching?" He goes, "Oh, I'm not coaching. I'm fighting." The only people we didn't know who the opponent was for Luther. I turned to my best friend. I'm like, I said, Miss Matt, have you seen Luther's highlight reel on Instagram? He's like, nope, not at all. And I was like, all right, man. Yeah, okay. Dude, I was like, I don't know how to explain to you that Luther is a beast. Like, I'm like, this guy is insanely athletic. And the fight started way different than I thought it would. Getting leg kicked. I was ringside after Luther got leg kicked. The look in his eye was like, holy crap, that really hurt. He went down and he was scooting backwards. I got to tell you, if Matt didn't get hit with that knee as he's coming in and
Exactly.
breaking this,
Would have been a very different fight.
much different fight. If he could see to be able to get Luther and keep him down, much different fight, man.
Yep.
But hats off to Matt. But when that happened, I was very much like, oh God, I really like Matt. Like he's like, yeah, I was 20 milligrams of edibles and a shot of whiskey, and he's like, Joe called him out there plowing my land. I'm like, oh,
that is
man.
so. The one I was just talking about that was at
Anthony Hamilton
outside against Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah.
Same thing. Anthony Hamilton's opponent dropped out like I think the day before or something. I can't remember. And Joe called Matt. And when I talked to Matt when he got there, he legit was like, he said, oh, he was clearing brush out like in the woods. Got a phone call. Was like, yeah. Went home, packed his shit, dropped the dogs off at his mom, jumped in the truck, drove up here.
Joe from Grants Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he fight Anthony Hamilton twice?
Yes. The first one, the first one, I believe he had an actual training camp. The second one was on 24-hour, 48-hour notice. Like same thing with Luther.
Yeah. And then we were at Silver Wreath when Anthony Hamilton had his retirement fight. And I don't know if it was actually his retirement, but he was super bloody.
Supposed to be. Yeah, it was supposed to be.
And he was like, yeah, I don't remember like who that guy was that he fought.
You're talking his actual. So the second
he was at Silver Wreath.
The second time he fought Howell, that was supposed to be his retirement fight. Jordan Curry, that guy.
Okay.
So Anthony Hamilton, like, it's on the Koga's YouTube channel. It's his last fight. He takes the gloves off. They give him the mic. He does the whole thing, and then it's over all this stuff. 1 or 2 cards later, Joe sends me hey, what's up? He's like, you're gonna love this, and I need you to interview both guys and blow this up. Like, okay, what are we talking about? And he sends me the names. I'm like, wait, huh? So it was Jordan Curry. those two guys for 6 years had been circling each other, and then a fight fell out, all stuff. They were supposed to main event. COVID happened, all this stuff. And it was to a
Yeah,
point that
that's right.
when I interviewed both of them, and Anthony Hamilton was, I think, in Idaho. I can't remember, but he's at his son's wrestling tournament,
Yeah,
and he's taking a moment, and he's in a hotel room. You could tell, and he's talking, and you could tell he just wants to get through it. He gets what he's doing. But there's a moment when I'm talking to him, and I'm hyped up. He legit, he's starting to do this. He's like, Robbie, you're getting me excited for this. Like, this is why I'm coming out of retirement for this. Like, let's go. And so then for that to be his retirement fight, like that,
yeah,
yep, that was great.
yeah.
Choked him
That
out,
was
blood
cool.
everywhere. Like, that was so
Blood
good.
everywhere. I
Yeah.
know. That was a fun fight to watch.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the 31st back at Toledo, especially because it's closer. I don't take a ferry over there.
Fair. Yep. It's always.
I'm excited to see when this lineup gets put together. Who's all going to be on there? I
I love when I get the fight card, because like I'll get it in pieces and stuff, and I don't even
Sure.
pay attention until he sends me the whole thing. Once I get but every once in a while there'll be like oh, please let both these guys stay healthy. Please
I
let this
know.
fight happen. Like when it was Chavez versus Layton for the title. Please, MMA gods, wrap these guys in bubble wrap. Let these
Yep.
guys make it to the cage, because like I'd say, like, so before a fight, Ed and I have our fight cards in front of us. We always, sometimes we agree on what fight now to be. Sometimes we differ, and we will be like, bet, like it's gonna be this one. Now it's gonna be this one. Why? And like we talk it out, and we'll say it on the broadcast too. We like, hey, Ed called this as fight of the night. Oh, I called this as fight of the night. And it's just
Yeah.
always fun to see those. This guy's fighting this guy. We're doing this. Hold on. But then when I get the update, or the last breakdown Joe and I did, I didn't know Luther's opponent had fallen out. And so when we're going through it fight by fight, and I'll be like, all right, in our co-main event, and I'll say, and he'll be like, well, hold on real quick. I forgot to text you a couple days ago. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
They're not fighting now? Like, what do you, come on now? Like, so that's why
I was
I get,
bummed out.
yeah.
I was bummed out when I heard Luther was off the card, and then I get to Clearwater. Is like, no. Omar's like, no, Joe pulled it off. We got somebody coming. I'm like, what's his name? And like, oh shoot, I can't remember. I can't remember who it is. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, and yeah. Seeing Matt just what an animal.
Yeah.
I just he didn't even know, didn't even care, didn't. And
Nope.
what all I did is I watch Luther's Instagram. I see him head kick a guy after the guy's coach is like, watch, he's setting up the head kick. He's setting up the head kick. Head kick.
Yep.
I was like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be a force. I wish him and the original opponent would have been able to fight the dude that got in the cage and they were yelling
Mike.
at each other.
Yep.
I would have loved, but I heard Mike went on to another promotion and wound up getting knocked out.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Mike was on Facebook or Instagram recently, and Luther was like, he's like, I don't mess with people who pull out. He's making like a sexual innuendo
Yep.
with Mike, and Mike's like, you don't even know the story, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, please come back,
Yep.
please come back.
I honestly, I thought when Luther won and he got the mic, I honestly was expecting him to call out Mike. Like, I was kind of shocked he didn't.
Yeah.
It
That was
weird.
a boring end. That was I want to show off my leopard print pants and talk to the girls in here.
Yeah.
And I was like, where was the Luther from when he was in the cage with Mike? Like, I will kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
told him,
we can do this right now.
You fight like your promos. You're boring as fuck. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I thought that Luther was going to get the mic and do that. I thought it was just like, instead he did some like, Timu Derek Lewis type shit. And I'm like, brother, come on. You had the mic, you had that moment, set that big fight up.
Yeah.
Because that's, a lot of us want to see that one who were there for the last one. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for what we're doing with Koga and everything. I'm so stoked to be a part of it. I really am.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, I want to get on the commentary with you guys one of these days. I want to sit over there. You had Bilal this last time.
Yeah, that was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was fun. It was interesting. It caught me off guard. It was like, all right, like, no, Ed. I've had to do them before, like just by myself, because like there was one I was on my way to, and Joe texted me. I can't remember who was supposed to be on commentary with you, but like they were in a car accident or something, like not terrible, but like they weren't going to make it. And so Joe was going to sit in and do it with me, but you've been there. He's doing this and he's doing that. And so he's done it when he can, but then he gets up, walks away and like, I got to sit there and do it by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had one, I can't remember if you had this one or not, but we had one and it was at Clearwater. Music hits, dude doesn't come out. We're waiting. Dude's not coming out. And Joe's doing commentary with me. It takes so long that Garrett, everyone's talking. Joe gets up to go figure out what's going on. And now I got to fill this dead air this time. The dude had literally taken his gloves off, thrown them down, went and got in the car and left.
No.
Oh, yeah. You know how the docs are back there and they queue him up and tell him when they're ready?
Yeah.
They queued him up, told him, hey, like, you're up next. Dude was waiting. And right as his music hit, nope, cut his shit off, fucking left.
I thought that was going to happen with the Albanian guy that fought, I know it was a co-main event. The one he kind of felt like Rock'em Sock Robots at first. He was getting rocked, but he was scary when he walked by. He's like, thank you very much. Like, his music hit and kept going. Yeah. He was waiting basically for like the beat to drop. Yeah. All of us in here are like, hello? You here still? Yeah, I was thinking that man might have left. Yeah, it was it's bad.
There was the one when RJ fought Dex Montenegro, and the build-up, those two guys did not like each other. The one before, when they announced it, like when they got in the cage, they legit like were going at each other. Like the refs had to separate them. Like the build-up was massive. The fight, I don't want to take away from Jeff Hoiby, but he may have stopped it a little early. Yeah. But it was to the point that crowd got so upset on both sides that like Ed and I legit thought there was going to be a riot. We thought the corners were going to start coming. It was the point like Ed and I was like, hey, you're the pro fighter. And he said, yep. And the exit's right there. We get up, just start swinging and let's go for it. No, like it was like, oh, and then luckily cooler heads prevailed on that. There was a dead ass moment where we legit thought this is about to pop off in this room.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's times where people are screaming in the crowd in these last ones where I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, bro, like we're getting a little drunk here. Things are getting a little bit, that's your boy. And because like the camps out there, the teams out there, the families out there, and you feel the raw emotion from these guys. Yeah. And like, even these amateurs, they're not getting paid. They're working their ass off. These 40-hour weeks jobs, are doing everything they can. And then they're training, they get in there and like, it's all that like pent up anger and frustration. You just want to let it out and release it all. And I look in the crowd sometimes. I'm like, oh man, like there are a couple drunk words more coming out, and all of a sudden we're getting some fists out there.
Yep, 100%. But it adds that just adds another layer to the fun. Like it's what I would say. Like when we first met, and then that night or the next day, whenever we were at the fight, when it was over, I was like, "Welcome to the circus." Like, it's just what like it is. This is what it is, man. It's always fun. It's always like there's never a dull. I mean, there might be, we've had boring fights that happens in the fight game, but from when we all get there early and we're catching up with each other and BS and all that to the end of the night when we're shaking hands or we're walking to go get a drink or whatever, like it is so much fun.
It is. Well, walking to get a drink. One last story for you. Sorry, So it's like a tradition for me now that I get Ed a drink afterward. Like it's cool. He texts me. He's like, "Hey man, where you at?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at the bar." He's like, "Oh, I'll be right over there." I'm like, "Fuck, Ed Herman wants to come to the bar with me? All right." So he's over there, he's playing blackjack, and I'm like, "Brother, let me go get you a drink." I go over there, get him and his girlfriend a drink. As I'm walking back over there again, his girlfriend's walking towards me with an empty cup. I'm like, "Hey, I got you, no problem." Send her back over there, right? By the time I get back over there, Ed like looks at me. There's security standing behind the thing. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Do me a favor. Don't let her walk back over to the table by herself again. There's 3 motherfuckers over there trying to pick her up. The straight up pit boss and everything staring." I looked right at it and said, sorry, but not a chance in fucking hell. Not a chance in hell. Am I going over there and trying to be the bodyguard for your girlfriend and then have Mr. Ed Herman come creeping up with it?" I was like, "That's your job, pal." I was like, "You chose this. You chose this right here. Yeah. Not me. I didn't." I said, "I got your drinks, homie." I was like, "I'm not defending her honor. You're short fuse, pal. Not me.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm getting my ass kicked by those three guys over there. Not me, bud." Yeah. It was damn. That was.
Well, let's
funny.
not get this shit twisted. A fight breaks out and there's 3 dudes fight. Oh, I'm gonna come in and throw a couple, or it'll be like that movie scene. Ed fucks them all up, and then I'll run over like John Knoxville, like kick one while he's down, just so I can say I got a piece.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I'll be his wingman.
Yep.
But like I'm like that far out like wing. Like, don't call me unless you really need me, please.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, Ed is, that's again, just circling back to the fan going. It's a good time what Koga puts on there, and I get to be part of like the behind the scenes stuff with it as well. It's too much fun. And then the cards, making the cards for them, circling back around. A lot of the cards that I make are kind of the homage. I work a lot with Omar designing them, him and I going back and forth with it. It's so much fun. The homage, like the 2009, 2010 tops. I loved those art cards. Stadium Club Baseball, very similar with it. It's a full photo. We're doing action shots now, so there's no border with it. So you get the full shot of the athlete, which I love that style.
Yep.
This next one, I think we're going to do their gyms behind them. We got the approval from almost every gym. I think we're going to do their gym logo behind each of the fighters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I'm pretty darn excited about it.
See that, and that's another thing. Circling this whole conversation back to the evolution of cards, whereas the first ones you did, and then the next one, and then now just the evolution of what you get to do with these cards and these fighters. Like it all just makes it fun, interesting, exciting to see. Like, well, wait, what are we doing now? Like, it's so much fun.
And evolving with Koga with it, where I sponsor the fight of the night and the performance of the night, and we all get to vote on that stuff. And this last one was very interesting. Who they thought should get the performance of the night, and all of us discussing it together. It was a good time.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's evolution of cards and what we're doing. Want to do like patch cards, serial numbered things like that. I need to get better at letting all the families and everybody know beforehand that we're going to have them there. The problem is I get so excited about the fights. My brain is on the fights. I just want to be there. I want to see these fights happen. But I forget that, oh, yeah, actually, I have 40 packs of cards that I need to also sell.
You got shit to do. Yeah, fair.